Yo, and we are live. Man, let's go. Yo, this is Set with Satan Key Media, and I'm back with another one, guys, man. Today we are about to get into this debate that Pearl had with a pastor, I believe, who pretty much be simping for the women. And pretty much, I guess men can't have standards within the guidelines of, well, regular dating and Christianity. But let's get into it.
Do you think that women should be obedient to their husbands?
Yeah, I think that they should be obedient to their husbands when their husbands give them a rational request or directive. But I think that husbands and wives should lead each other to Christ and to the goodness of their family.
So what do you define as rational?
In accord with reason. So something that doesn't go against what reason would dictate.
Can I make a
See, now last time I checked, now I'm just saying, now correct me if I'm wrong, my fellow Christians, or my Christian brethren, but like, yeah, isn't it supposed to be the man who leads the wife? Isn't it supposed to be, wife, children, wife, man, then God? Like, I thought that was the order here. Like, well, what's going on? He's kind of saying that, y'all partners all of a sudden, like, huh?
Example
of something.
So, like, I'm assuming crimes,
of something that's rational. Or irrational.
Yeah, irrational.
Yeah, if a husband says,
like, obviously no crimes, right?
Yeah, or if a husband says, I want you to lose a massive amount of weight, for example, that would put if your husband wants you to do something to change your body that would put your health at risk, I would say that's irrational.
Okay, but a normal amount of weight would be fine.
I would say I think it's fine for husbands and wives to want each other to be healthy, but it's very.
Yeah, well, you being healthy is pretty much you losing weight. Bro, this is what's crazy. There is no extreme. I never heard of an extreme where a man told you, yeah, I need you to be at an unhealthy weight. I know your BMI says this. I know the doctor says this will be your healthiest weight, but I want you to be below that. No dude in history's ever said that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because usually when you're at your BMI and you're at your perfect weight, you look the best you ever had. You look the best. So I'm really wondering, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I don't think any dude has ever asked their wife to lose an unreasonable amount of weight.
Very quickly that if a husband or a wife asks for a person to be of a certain weight, that can easily be more out of a desire for vanity than for the other person's well-being.
But what about health?
What about health? I think it's fine. I think it's good for husbands and wives to want each other to be healthy.
No, but I'm asking the husband. Why do you always bring it back to the husband? Because I'm asking about the wife. I didn't ask you about the husband.
Because I'm
saying for the husband, can he ask that his wife stays a certain weight? Is that rational?
It's rational for him to ask her to be healthy, but staying at a certain weight your entire life, that's not necessarily going to be healthy. Like saying, I want you to always be 120 pounds. Like, hey, I got pregnant. I'm kind of getting back.
I mean, if you was to do that and achieve that goal, you would live a long time. Like, I don't know, if you're a female and you just happen to stay at your perfect body weight all the time, so you get pregnant, cool, I guess you gained that, 20, 30 pounds max. Then you go right back to your regular weight. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure you're going to be just fine. You'll be just fine. Like, promise.
Past that now, I don't like that. That would be irrational.
He would not be allowed to do that under your thought?
I think it would be insane if a man said that his wife needs to stay at a certain.
Why? Why? What's wrong with men having standards? What's wrong with that?
But Pearl, you do realize that that's absolutely, literally there was a joke in The Office where BJ Novak says some supermodels lose weight when they're pregnant. That shows that he's just an insane chauvinistic person. To demand that a wife stay at a certain weight, even though as you get older, you naturally gain weight. And especially when you get pregnant, you gain at least 9 pounds of weight.
So we're just going to bring negativity into the whole thing? Like, he's going to gain weight anyway. I'm like, okay, well, bro might gain some muscle. Like, shit, that might be muscle. Who say he just gets fatter? I'm going to be real with you. Most guys who's asking their girl to lose weight are usually going on the journey themselves. Or they're already in shape. So they just want their girl to get in shape. And y'all over here trying to ruin it for us. Ain't that crazy, man? Simping at an all-time highest.
That would be insane to demand that someone stay at a certain weight.
Women lose it all the time.
I fail to see how any of this is relevant to marriage, by the way.
Well, what I'm trying to understand is your mindset. So why can't men have standards in marriage? Because if you're saying that men can't have standards in their own marriage, like you're saying it's irrational for a guy to demand his wife stay a certain weight. Why? Why is that
to stay
wrong?
a certain weight
Why?
during their entire marriage?
Why? Why is that wrong?
Because
I've seen women do it.
Would you like me to answer the question?
Bro, I've seen women of other countries do it. I've seen women in America do it. So what is this rationale that, I know what it is, because a lot of these niggas is weak and they know they're going to get fat, so they don't want to be shamed if their wife stay the same weight. Like, let's just be real. Some of y'all dudes is that weak.
Go ahead.
Okay. Because biologically, our bodies change over time. They'll naturally gain and lose weight in different circumstances. And your worth as a spouse, whether you are a husband or a wife, is not derived by your weight. That's just a shallow thing. Now,
well, it kind of is, because your weight kind of dictates your health, and then it dictates how well you can perform your duties as a wife. So saying that is completely asinine.
I think that both husbands and wives should encourage the other to should encourage.
It's your job to be attractive.
I think husbands and wives should both maintain attractiveness.
Right, but why do you always have to bring it back? Because why do you only focus on women? Right now, because we're asking about the deal for men.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this from the man's point of view. What does the man get out of it?
Yeah, you want men to be married. The Christian church want more men to start getting married. Okay, explain what we get out the deal.
Is this a good deal?
He
can't even ask for an in-shape wife.
He gets a woman who
can't even say 120
Can I answer the question?
pounds?
Can I answer the question?
I'm asking.
Yeah, he gets a woman who's promised to stay with him, even though statistically he'll gain 30 or 40 pounds.
And?
Whoa. You're telling me I get, my wife is going to stay with me even though she gained weight and she's fat too? Like, dog, what do I gain? Now we just both fat. Bro, it'd have been better if you just said, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the man can gain weight, but the woman gotta stay in shape. So, you could be as fat as hell, you be good. Yeah, maybe I could rock with that unfairness because, it's on the guy's side. But he's not making sense.
And that, because that's women's job has far more of a job to be beautiful than men. Men's job is to protect and provide.
So do women have a right to...
What is wrong with a man asking that she stays a certain weight?
Because it's shallow.
What?
It's fine to ask someone to...
How is it shallow to want your wife to be healthy? He really got to break that down to me, because there's no way. I don't think there's really a way you can make it make sense.
Be healthy. And it's fine to encourage your spouse to maintain attractiveness, not to just let yourself go. But that's the same for husbands and wives. Neither should just let themselves go. But at the same time, each one should be merciful, knowing that time and age come for all of us.
The reason that the obesity, I've looked that up before, the reason that the men are more overweight than women is because you don't look at visceral fat. So when men are very high, like muscle percentage, they're still considered overweight more so than women. So a more accurate way to look at that is visceral fat. And women have higher rates of visceral fat.
What if bro just start working out?
Women are more, and if you look at extreme obesity, women are more obese.
Yeah.
So so I don't know why you're kind of lying with that stat, trying to act like men are equally obese. They're not.
Well, men are still overweight, but that still doesn't show none of that shows marriage is a bad deal for men. Next question:
should men marry women that have had abortions?
Should men marry women that have abortions?
Okay, goddamn, we're moving on to some very hard-hitting conversations here. Like, should you marry a woman that's a baby killer? Well, in my opinion, nope. She better have a good reason. If it was a rape or incest, then I'm sorry, baby girl, you ain't got a good reason. And you was just trying to escape accountability through killing a fetus. Congratulations.
Should men marry women that have had abortions?
I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker.
Should men marry women with STDs?
I wouldn't say...
A quarter of women have herpes. Should men marry them?
Damn.
I'm going to answer.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to answer your question. I would say just as it is not a disqualifier for if a man facilitated an abortion, and 90% of... So for every woman who chooses to get an abortion, 90% of the time, the man is actively or passively supporting it. So just as it's not a deal breaker for a woman...
I'm asking for the future man. I'm not saying he asked her to abort his. This is another...
That's an error. We're actively supporting it. Like, dog, we have no choice but to support it. Like, that's like so disingenuous to say that. Like, if you ask most men who supported their girl's abortion, they're gonna tell you, no, I didn't want it, but her body, her choice, so I couldn't say shit about it. So to sit there and tell me that, oh yeah, I was supportive, I went along with it, is a goddamn lie. It's like, no, I have to go along with it because it's her body, her choice. I can't sit there and tell a woman, no, you're gonna have my kid regardless of what you want. No, I can't do that.
Their man's kid. She's had an abortion.
No, what I'm saying is I'm applying an equal standard here. So I would say that it is not a deal breaker for a man to marry a woman who's had an abortion, just like it's not a deal breaker for a woman to marry a man who had facilitated an abortion.
Should men marry women that have slept with over 10 men?
Should they marry someone who's slept with over 10 men? I would say that when you have more sexual partners, that's definitely that's something that's concerning. That could be a red flag.
So you would say no?
But that doesn't apply. I'm not going to say that someone is unmarriageable because of one particular trait.
What about porn?
Okay, what
about
porn?
women that have participated in porn? Should men marry women that have participated in porn?
I ain't gonna lie, she like steamrolling these questions at him. It's like, damn, one after another. Like, bro, really can't really. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even think he can really answer these questions effectively.
I would say that that's definitely a red flag, but it is not a necessarily. It's not a deal breaker.
Do you have a son?
Can I answer the questions?
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
asking.
damn, Pearl, answer a question. You just over here steamrolling the questions, just like, oh yeah, what about this? What about that? Like, I ain't gonna lie, she do ask like questions like a little kid. Like in the middle of answering a question, if she's okay or unsatisfied with it, she's like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna answer the next question. I'm gonna ask the next question. Hopefully, you want to answer this one.
Questions and I'll never answer
because
them.
It just would be easier if I got a yes or no, because you keep giving me these roundabout and I'm just at yes or no.
I'm giving you good answers.
Go ahead.
So I'd like to finish about pornography.
Go ahead.
I would say it's not a deal breaker if a woman had participated in pornography.
Huh? Wait. So you telling me you can, bro, a Christian will even marry the next porn star? Like, bro, where's y'all values at this point? What do y'all stand on? What do y'all stand on at this point, bro? Like, it doesn't disqualify her. I'm like, then what does disqualify a woman? Because at that point, if that don't disqualify her, then I don't know what does.
Much the same way it is not a deal breaker. Well, it's something to be very, very worried about. So I'll answer it this way. It's very hard for me to find anything that's a deal breaker for marriage, except for maybe diagnosed severe mental illness, for example, or addiction to drugs, things like that. But that would apply to men and women. So when it comes to pornography, I would say it's very concerning if you have if a woman had previously engaged in pornography, just like it is very concerning if a woman chooses to marry a man who's previously viewed pornography.
But this is my question. It's like, why can't men have standards?
Hold on. So wait. Did you just equate like a man looking at a pornography to a woman being in pornography? Like, oh yeah, bro tripping. Bro is tripping.
And this is what I've noticed from the trad community and like the conservatives. It's like the quality of women keeps going down and down and down.
Well,
and we can't even definitively say, hey, maybe we shouldn't marry porn stars. Maybe we shouldn't marry overweight women. You know, it's like we constantly get rid of.
Maybe we should set a standard for what it is to be a wife. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't just let every fat girl be a wife without at least having some good character to her. At least. Or, you know, no more fat wives. You know, that'd help out a whole lot better for us guys as well.
Standards for men.
No, I'm fine with standards as long as...
And we can't even... No, you're not, because you're not even definitively saying you shouldn't marry a porn star. Mm-hmm. You would never in a million years tell your son to marry a porn star.
Facts.
An active, currently working porn star?
Even a previous porn star.
You said former.
Even former. You would never. Come on, someone you loved. Okay. And this is why.
You can keep talking or you can ask me a question. Because I was going to say, I do believe in standards, Pearl. I just believe they should be applied equally. So if women have a past in porn and that makes them unmarriageable, fine. Then we should just say any man who's looked at porn, don't marry him.
Yo, what? Nigga, what? Like, bro, you can't look up me watching porn. I'm sorry, you can't look up me watching porn. You can't look up me watching adult entertainment unless you ask the CIA or the FBI or something. But I can definitely go Google a woman and find those tapes. You can't go Google me unless you work at the CIA or the FBI and see me watching adult entertainment. There's just no goddamn way. So bro is just being ridiculous. That made no sense.
The equal.
Is it okay for men to look at porn? You can ask that during your cross-examination.
The equal equivalent would be a man that's participated in porn. That would be the equal equivalent if we're really going to go apples to apples here. But what I'm asking is, okay,
and there's lots of men who participate in porn.
A quarter, you know,
yeah, but none of them men are expecting to be husbands. That's the problem. Dudes who are usually porn stars, after they get out of that, low-key, they're expecting the bachelor life for the rest of their life. But here's the thing, though. That's not how it works for men. Let's be real. Dude could be a corn star, and let's be real. That's a valid symbol. Well, we all know you can give good sex at least. The girl knows you can give good sex. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that there's a lot of girls who would date a next porn star. I'm gonna be real with you. As a male one, of course. But there's barely any men that would date an ex-female, well, adult entertainer. I gotta say the AdSense here, guys.
A quarter of women, up to a third, have an STD. Should men marry them?
Should they marry them?
Yeah.
Just the same reasons would apply if you asked women, should they marry men who have STDs? Because men have lots of STDs. And if it's okay to marry them.
But why is it what about the men? It's like the craziest
because men and women are equal. Men and women are equal. We should treat them equally.
It's the craziest. I don't think men and women are equal.
No. Are they equal in value and dignity?
No,
Sorry,
like, bro, you don't even think men and women are equal, bro. You just try to equate a woman being in porn to a man looking at porn. You know men and women aren't equal.
Just real quick, Trent, you can ask questions in your cross-examination.
Sure.
Pearl, so
I'm not coming at this from a religious point of view. What I am saying is that you keep telling men to lower their standards because you were saying wife up these whores. 3% of women, 100 years ago, men got a virgin. They got a virgin, 4+ kids. 3% of women are waiting till marriage nowadays. You're saying wife them up anyway. Doesn't matter the risk. Who cares?
Do you have a question, Pearl?
I have a question. Why do you think that's okay? Why are you not thinking about the effect that this have on men and you're worrying about just passing the hose off to good men? That'd been my question. Really. What is your goal here doing this to men? Because you're not for men. You're really just for, I ain't gonna lie, promiscuous women.
So, yeah, I'm going to go back to STD is not a deal breaker. Yes or no?
No, they're not. If they're not a deal breaker for men, they're not a deal breaker for women.
Okay. On top of that, porn, not a deal breaker?
Having been involved in pornography? Mm-hmm. No, it's not a deal breaker, but it's something to be very concerned about. The same as if a man had been behind the camera doing OnlyFans work or working at OnlyFans. But if he's truly repented, then people can really change, and we should give them mercy, whether they're a man or a woman.
People can change, but it doesn't mean they statistically do. And women that have made those decisions, statistically, the grass, statistically, it's not a happy ending for most of them. So that's the other question. Why would you sign up? Would you ever sign a business contract that someone's paid to leave? So if me and you are going to do business, and I get a bunch of money and your children if I leave, you would sign that contract.
If you get my children, because maybe we're pairing our YouTube channels together, probably not going to sell off my kids on that. But it's very common in business deals, Pearl, where if you have a high value business partner and you really want them to be a part of the venture, you might include things like a buyout clause or severance pay. That's not that uncommon to ameliorate risks or to encourage them to take part in the project.
That's fair.
Okay, so would you would you sign the contract or no?
When I sign a contract, you've made it very
where I'm paid to leave.
Where you're paid to leave if you're my business partner. It depends how much and what risk. Why can't you answer the question? Because your question is underdefined and it can't be answered. You've asked it in a very vague way.
Okay, I can give him that one because I'd have definitely rephrased that question a little better than what she did. I'd have been like, yeah, bro, let's say you're getting into a business deal and y'all both put all y'all money into it. Y'all both put the same equal amount of hours. And, usually if a business goes down, y'all both go down, right? Well, let's say that in this business arrangement, if bro leaves, he takes everything, right? He takes the LLC, he takes the bank account, he takes everything. But if you were to leave, you don't get nothing. Would you sign that contract? Most of y'all would say, well, I'm gonna be resounding, yeah, it'd be resounding no.
So I can only give a vague answer. And reply.
Okay, me and you sign a business deal. And in that business deal, business deal, I get your whole YouTube channel if I leave. And I get your children. Are you signing it?
No, I'm not.
Exactly. That's the point. No, you're not signing it.
Because you haven't.
And this is the thing. They act like it's one-off instances. And this is what the academics tend to do. They'll say, here's a study funded by this organization, or here's another study. And they want you to not believe what's in front of your eyes. Men are not signing up for marriage today. And you can say it's that marriage is a great deal for men, but men are naturally logical. They do what makes sense. 100 years ago, men were still men, same software. They married women in 3 months. There's a reason it's gone up to 3 years.
I would sign a contract where.
Facts, man. I'm gonna be real with you. We used to be able to trust women to stay around. It was damn near the culture for a woman to stay around. It's like divorce, man. That ain't even in the question. It's like nowadays, man, you could fall in love with a girl within 3 months, and you might want to marry her, but now you'll go ahead looking at the girl today, and you're just like, yeah, that might not be the best pick. Like, I might be in a situation real quick if I go out here being lover boy, and that's the problem. Hey, y'all women killed the lover boy era. What can I say?
Where if you have to undergo, if you're undergoing significant risk, and the whole point of things that if a marriage divorces is that women undertake risks. If they come and then they give up their careers and they stay home and raise children, for example, and they do that. The
majority of women aren't doing that. The majority of women are not doing that statistically. Okay. 3 out of 4 women are working, so that's not the majority.
The point is, if they go and do that and they take part in a marriage,
they don't want
you're going to be you're undertaking risks when you're involved in marriage. Well, as I stated before, women are twice as likely to end up in poverty after divorce than men.
Yeah, because women are bad with money.
No, what happens is women usually
have 80% of the world's debt. Women have 80% of the world's debt. Women are not good with money. And many
as I showed in my opening statement.
I agree. I agree. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I agree.
And many men. That's not true. Women have 80% of the world's debt.
Now and I know the study that he's talking about. He didn't separate the good debt. That's what he forgot to separate, the good debt versus bad debt. So men hold most of the debt because we have a tremendous amount of good debt. If you know about Robert Kiyosaki, good debt is something that a lot of real estate holders have when they owe down on a lot of properties, but all these properties making them such a tremendous amount of money, but they still have the debt of these properties. So you could be $1 billion in debt and still be a billionaire. And it's like, yeah, it's crazy how things work with money. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, he didn't separate the good debt from the bad debt that men hold.
And the other thing that they don't take into account is that
in this country, men have more. But
women have 80% of the world's debt. Women are
bad debt. The 80% of the world's bad debt, not the good one.
Are not great with money, and men earn more as well too. And the thing is, you're not addressing the suicide problem. Do you not think that's a problem?
Of course, suicide's a problem. It's more of a problem for men who never marry.
I'm asking in divorce. They're 9 times more likely.
I've heard of more dudes who committed suicide in marriage, though. I'm sorry. Unalive themselves. I'm sorry. But there's just no way, bro. Oh, yeah, bro ain't operating in reality right now.
To commit suicide after a divorce.
They're 9 times more likely than a divorced woman. You're misreading the statistic.
And in family court, if they find... Within 5 years, many men do commit suicide. What do you think? You think it's just made up? You think it's just fake? All these men that are saying my life is ruined.
Yes,
let him answer it.
Go ahead.
No, because I've actually read the studies, and the problem is you're doing the comparison fallacy here. You're just picking, hey, if you get married, this bad thing can happen to you, or this bad thing can happen to you, and that's true. Mm-hmm. But if you choose to not get married, you can also have many bad things happen to you. You can grow up and have no social connections. You become a recluse, and you're more likely to commit suicide. Or you're more likely just to not.
Now, I cannot see that. I don't know why. So you're really trying to scare men into marrying bad women because, oh, well, you won't be socially connected. Bro, you won't be socially connected married to a bad woman. Married to a hoe, you really be annexed from society. So, like, what are you talking about? If there's no good women, then, yeah, there's no benefit in marriage, period. All this stuff you're talking about marriage all comes under the guidelines as if you're married to a good woman.
Not take care of yourself. And the statistics show that on average, ever married men, including divorced men, live longer, are healthier, and rate their lives as happier than never married men. It's a statistical fact.
Because women date happy men.
So
women pick for these things.
How do you know that?
Because I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I know what we pick for. We like tall, handsome, good-looking men.
Is every married man tall, handsome, and good-looking?
Not every, but he's usually one of those things. He's usually one. Like he's usually either successful or handsome or good. Women don't marry homeless men off the street.
There's a big difference between cooking, handsome, and successful and homeless. There's also average.
Yeah, but women don't want average though. Let's be real. Even if he looks average or something about his personality, that's not average. Let's keep it a buck. That's what women like.
My point is, women tend to pick above average men. We see this on dating apps. Women swipe right 5% of the time. The number one way people are meeting under 30 is on dating apps.
That's because on dating dating apps
but
3
you don't know what
times.
you're talking about. You're not even out dating. Like, that's
I do. Because on dating apps, Pearl, the reason that women are so choosy is because there are 3 to 4 times as many men on dating apps than women. So men will be constantly swiping right. Women can be more choosy in that environment because there's just so many more men. But in real life, when you look at a 1993 study, another one by Taylor and another one by Taylor done in 2011. I would like to finish. Before Taylor, and Taylor study in 2011 shows that men and women, when they get married, they tend to be within the same social range and attractiveness. So while for dating and hookups, you're correct, women on social media apps, because there's so many men to pick from, go for the higher quality men. When it comes for marriage, people tend to marry within their own social and attractiveness value bracket.
Right.
Okay, so I get what he's saying, but so all right, he's pretty much saying that, well, we can't really listen to the dating statistics because the dating statistics, what y'all doing when y'all date is different what y'all doing when y'all get married. So when y'all dating, you go for these highly, I guess, attractive men, but when you actually get married, 9 times out of 10, majority of y'all women settle. And you stop going for the 6 feet handsome guy. You settle for, your average man. That's the guy y'all marry. But, while in y'all Tinder, I guess during your hoe phase, you're going after 6 feet handsome and successful, which we cannot blame you for. I don't blame you.
Right, but that doesn't disprove what I'm saying. Women pick a small percentage of men when given the choice.
That's not true, because I'm talking about marriage. We're talking about marriage, not Tinder.
But that's the number one way people are meeting under 30. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of you guys are so out of touch. You don't see, like, these studies take years to come out at some time. I can tell you firsthand what's going on because I actually talk to the people.
No, I agree. It's dumb to try to meet your spouse on Tinder. That's dumb.
Right, but that's what's happening. Right. That's where the world is going.
Right.
And you're encouraging men to clean up women's mess. And I say men shouldn't have to do that. Men shouldn't have to sign a contract where women are paid to leave. I think it's so simple. If people are paid to do the wrong thing, why wouldn't they do it? Why would, I'm not saying every woman will, but every woman can.
What woman is going to want to say, gee, what would be great?
Don't ask questions. Let her go.
Yeah. Well, I'll go. Well,
you can answer it.
Yes, I will answer it. No, the women aren't saying, gee, it would be so awesome if I married this guy and then got full custody of the kids. So now I'm a single parent and I have to take care of these kids. Good thing he sends me $440 a month to help with that. That doesn't sound like a great deal to me.
$440 over 18 years is over $100K. That's life-changing money. That is life-changing. And this is the thing.
Try raising children on 3 kids on $440 a month.
And this is the thing. This is the other thing that
Oh, I gotta give him that argument. The child support system is bullshit. It is, but this is why it really, it was. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. This whole divorce thing wasn't meant to be. Y'all supposed to be locked in for the long haul. There was supposed to be no separation of assets, cause it works a whole lot better when the man's in the house and y'all share expenses instead of there being 2 separate expenses. It's gonna be a lot harder to raise kids with 2 separate expenses, including, the dad and his living situation, the mom, her living situation, plus kids that the dad slightly got to fund. It's like, bro, it's just a big mess.
This is the other thing. See, I'm not used to, I always have to write it down. You said that men don't fight for custody. This is the problem with men in statistics. This is the problem when people just read studies and they're not actually in the field. You don't know why. You don't know why men aren't fighting, because a lot of times men are in the position they cannot afford to fight for custody, and the lawyers will tell them not to.
Yeah, because, bro, I'm sorry now, but let's say you had a kid right now, chat. Do you have 20 bands right now to fight for your kid? Because that's the lawyer's going to tell you, bro. It's going to take about 20,000, and this girl getting it for the free ski. So you're at a losing position, my man. You might as well just go ahead and just take the L. It's just like, God damn. It's like, what do I do? Well, that's what a lot of situation guys are in. That's why a lot of guys, low-key, don't even step into the ring. It's like you stepping into the ring and you see, like, goddamn Sean Strickland, like Alex Pereira. Is like, nigga, you're not stepping into that ring. You know what's going to happen. Or you step into the ring, you see a fucking bear. It's like, bro, you know you're not winning this fight. What's the point of stepping into the ring if you know, 1, you don't have the financial means for it, and 2, it's not like you can just up the road the whole justice system.
to do it because they spend $50,000. I interviewed one guy, $1.5 million in Texas.
Too much money.
$1.5 million on a divorce. He still didn't get primary custody. These cases are common. And if you spent a day in family court, if you actually were in the field, you would know.
Okay, so that's an anecdote. And it also doesn't say anything about marriage because if a man hooks up with a woman or cohabits and she gets pregnant, he can have the same issues. So this is not unique to marriage.
Well, yeah, but marriage puts them at a higher risk because they're on the hook for alimony as well.
Alimony is only paid out in 8% of marriages.
I know, but what does a man get out of marriage that he doesn't get out of a live-in girlfriend? What benefit?
Well, he doesn't.
Because like I'm be real with you, it'd be like what the top 10% of men that can afford to pay alimony. That was usually the housewife situation. But guess what? 90% of men pay alimony. So he forgot that statistic. You're right. Only 8% of marriage do receive alimony because only 8% of people in the world are actually rich enough to go the alimony route. Well, in America, at least.
One benefit, he's not a 45-year-old guy saying, can I bring my girlfriend to the party?
Who cares?
One, he's not that. He's a mature, stable person. Okay. What does he get out of it? He lives longer. He's healthier.
No. What benefit does he get out of specifically signing that contract? What does he get?
What he gets.
And that's, I ain't glad they're missing the whole catalyst of bro, all right, here's a major variable. Everything works out in marriage if you have a good woman. If you have a woman who supports and loves you, you are straight. You're good. But if you don't, this is where things get effed up. I'm telling you, that's what they're not covering here. It's all right, but where are the good women that are marriage material? Because, okay, we could talk about how good marriage is all day, and I'd agree with you. I'd agree with the guy. I'm about, yeah, marriage is really good. It's a really good social thing. But if there is no good marriageable women, then what are we even talking about here?
Women give children outside of marriage, so he doesn't get that. The women gain weight after marriage. He doesn't get that. And all of the stats you're saying you're attributing to marriage, I would disagree.
Well,
I would say that women tend to marry happy, successful men.
Yep.
That is just a correlative theory that you have, and that's not true because if you just look around at men and when you do longitudinal,
women don't want to marry a happy guy, so women don't want to marry a guy that's happy to marry them. Hold on, what are you saying? Bro, what are you saying right now? What?
Longitudinal studies that control for success. See, that's not the case. One longitudinal study found that after a man gets married and upon the birth of his first child, he works 10 to 20 hours a week more than unmarried men.
Right, because
the reason they're more successful.
Whoa. He'd work the same 20 plus more hours with the kid not married. Let's keep it a buck. It's not the whole marriage thing that's making him work more. If he'd work the same amount of hours if he just didn't have the kid. You tell me now you got a wife, kid, and possibly a whole household to support. Yeah, you're damn right you're gonna work that shit. Even if you're not married, you was still gonna work that because now you got a whole nother life to support.
Love spending men's money. Of course he's got to work more. I mean, even car salesmen will tell you the final say is who? The woman.
No, it's because now he's grown up, Pearl. He's grown up and he realizes life isn't just about him. He has to take care of other people.
My wife's credit card.
My white boy, my friend. A man realizes that, bro, the moment he realizes that he got to take care of his mother, he got to be the one to take care of his sisters, brothers. He got to be the one to take care of those below him. A man don't need to be married to realize that he got to do for other people. Actually, a man realizes that as soon as he probably lives with his first girlfriend. The fact that you think that a guy needs to be married to learn all these life lessons is crazy. It's bro, we learned all this stuff before marriage. This is why a lot of us not entering into it now. It's just not a fair deal. We see what it is, and we see how we're getting done without the marriage, and we're damn near thankful that we weren't in it.
Card spending is off the chain, and that's the thing. I am in the field. I am in the field. That's the thing.
What field? What expertise do you have in this?
Because when you actually interview the men that have gone through this, you have a completely different perspective. And that's the thing, because we just went through COVID. How many studies did they have? And experts that came out and said, COVID, you should take the shot. Oh, sorry, I don't want to YouTube you, but
you have 1 minute left.
But My entire point is you can make a study that says anything, but if you look at reality,
so studies are wrong except for the ones you cite for your positions.
If you look at reality, you would never sign a contract that someone is paid to leave, and there are just not enough wives to go around.
You have 40 seconds left. Feel free to ask him more questions.
Okay, there you go. You'd realize there's not enough wives to go around if you look at the reality. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I'd agree. Marriage is good for society and community and personally people. But if we don't have no good women, then it is something destructive. It's something that will destroy a man's life, and it's something that could also ruin a woman's life. So it could go bad both ways. And then, oh man, let's not forget about the kids. The kids get emotional, damn it. While you two are fucking bickering.
Questions?
Crazy.
No, I think that's it.
All right. No problem. All right, we've got 20 minutes. Again, you're asking the questions, you're responding to them.
All right.
We'll try not to talk over each other just for the sake of those at home as best as we're able. Ready, set, go.
All right, he's funny for saying that.
It's kind of fun.
It is fun. You'll get addicted to it after a while.
I was a little nervous, but it's kind of fun.
Then you get right into it and it's just fun, isn't it? All righty. We brought up something earlier about men. Do you think men and women have equal basic value, like equal dignity?
What do you mean by dignity?
They have the same intrinsic goodness. Men and women are equal in their basic value.
Well, in the terms of being able to be good people, of course, I believe that. Yeah, in the terms of being able to be good people, in terms of being able to be shown dignity, yeah. But as far as, I don't know, like if we're talking about who gives more to society, then no, we can't say we.
Goodness is human.
I think that's where he's going. I think.
Like I think that, because it depends, right? It depends how, like, I think that men do more good in society than women. And I'm assuming that's like the tweet you're talking about. But
no, I'm asking because earlier I said men and women are equal and you denied that. And I said, I agree that men and women are unequal in many ways. But surely, like, for example, do white and black people have equal dignity?
Yeah, sure.
Do men and women have equal dignity?
Sure.
Okay, good. That's really good to hear. Okay. All right. So you say marriage is a bad deal for men. For a marriage that does so, because a majority of marriages do not end in divorce. For the marriages, at least let's say this, for the marriages that don't end in divorce, are those bad deals for men?
If the wife gained a significant amount of weight, I would say bad deal. Most men don't want a fat wife, I would say. If the wife cheats, I would say bad deal. Most men don't want a cheating wife. If they're in a sexless marriage, I would say bad deal. Most men want, I think most men, if you said, hey guys, do you want to get married? Your wife isn't going to sleep with you after you have.
And you know, it's funny though. Here's the thing. Women don't even do that in marriage no more. They do that shit in relationships. They don't even wait for it to get a ring to start acting up. Y'all do none in relationships. And then y'all wonder why y'all don't get married because y'all already proven qualities of a, bad wife.
2 children, they would say, oh, hell no.
What?
Oh, hell.
No, here's the crazy thing. A lot of women would do some crazy stuff like she said, either gain weight, cheat, do whatever, right? And then think that the next guy is gonna wife them up, or think that it's not them, it's the guy. It's not that I show them bad wife qualities. It's like I'm telling you, man. Some of these girls really do be lost. You might want to check their history of their ex. It reveal a lot.
Oh no,
Pearl. So, what would be the best? Let's say a man says, "I would like a long-term sexual relationship with a woman."
Okay.
What would you say is the best relationship kind for him to obtain that?
What do you mean by best?
If a guy says to you, "Pearl, I would like a long-term sexual relationship with a woman," what kind of relationship should I pursue? Marriage, cohabitation, dating? Which would be the best strategy?
It depends on the state you're in, because some states have different states have different laws.
Just in general, would you say?
Well, there's no general. No general answer because it would depend on the state.
Why would it? Because what you're saying is that the harm.
For example,
let me finish because I get to interrupt now, and that's where it gets fun.
Go ahead.
Because what you're saying is, it's not. Even though the majority of marriages don't end in divorce, you still say those are a bad deal because women gain weight, even though men gain weight also. But
what about the men though?
Do men in long-term cohabiting relationships, do those women gain weight?
Yeah, I ain't gonna. Actually, I mean, let's see with you. A lot of women, when they get the guy that they actually like, they kind of gain weight. They, all right, I got him. I'm good. Let me gain weight. Guys, be the same way. I say I was the same way at a time. Like, there was a time I got in a relationship and I lost muscle mass. Like, what the hell was going on? Had to hop on my shit again. Women are the same way. They'll be in a relationship for a long time and they'll get a little fat. And you won't say nothing because you're getting a little skinny. You're getting a little fat yourself. It's like, dog. Y'all fucking up. And it's the man's fault because you should have been the leader and kept the fitness within the relationship together. So it's your fault.
Not as much, but the difference is it's easier to get out of. So if a woman gains weight, it's much easier to break up with a girlfriend than it is a wife.
Okay.
So you're able to have higher standards.
How much weight can a woman gain in marriage before you consider her unmarriageable?
Depends on the guy. I think it's unfair more than like 20 pounds, 50.
So it also depends on the woman and her shape as well. Like, you know, she got that shape on her. Sweet Jesus. You know, some of them can get away with it a little bit. But then if she don't, I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah, she might need to lose some weight immediately. It's like, you don't got enough curves for that weight, baby girl.
15 pounds. Yeah. What are you doing, ladies? Get on the treadmill.
Oh, God, stop holding yourselves back.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I think it's okay. And I think it's good for women. I think it is good for women if men have standards for us.
But according to that Gordon Larson study.
Yeah, you know how much women would really be in the gym after they get done being hurt on TikTok. How much women really be sorry we say, yeah, we're not marrying overweight women, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Like,
Emotional damage.
after the emotional damage, they gonna get in the gym, I best believe. Or we're just gonna let some of them be stubborn and not get married. And the ones who want to get married, hey, they gonna step up to the plate. You know, the pick-me's, the one we love so much.
Cohabiting women gain, what was it?
The studies I've seen, it's
18,
less.
less, but they still.
I've seen around 10. I've seen 10.
That's the study you're citing for 24 pounds gain. They gain 18 pounds in marriage. People, the problem is, if you're saying that it's a bad deal for men to be in a relationship where women gain weight, and if women gain weight in all relationships,
Guys, the only weight you should have gained in a relationship is muscle, man. Bruh, it's straight muscle, my nigga. That's all you should have earned in that goddamn relationship is muscle. And if you didn't, you're fucking up.
Aren't you really just saying women are a bad deal for men, not marriage?
No, I'm saying that.
You know, that's also a fair point too. I ain't gonna lie. That was a pretty fair point. He said, "You sure we ain't talking about women?" That's what I said pretty much. It's like, yeah, let's start at step 1 because step 2 is marriage. Step 1 is finding a good woman or having a good woman.
Women, the difference is in a long-term relationship, you can say you need to change or I'm going to go. And women tend to act better when men have standards.
Okay. Do you agree that married men rate themselves?
If a man makes it clear from day one and she accepts these terms and agreement, and if you're willing to stand on business, if she breaks these terms, then yeah, she gonna stand in line. She gonna make sure she loses the weight. If you tell her, yeah, you're gonna be like 20 pounds overweight, yeah, she gonna make sure she don't go over 21. And if she does, you gotta be ready to pack your bags and leave. Like, gone. You gotta leave her with the
Emotional damage.
on God, man. On God.
But do married men live longer than unmarried men?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Because I think women tend to pick healthier men. I mean, I'm a woman. We want, you know. I mean, why do you think women are throwing themselves at these like NBA player? We want the good. We want the good genes.
Are most men who get married not NBA players?
No, but you can see when you look at the men that women are throwing themselves at, you can see what women select for.
Okay. So, but you would agree, though, that even if that is correct, even if it's correct that women choose men who are happier and healthier, if a man chooses to get married, then that would seem that he is or has made himself to be a happy, healthy individual.
Yeah,
right?
if he
gets successful.
Well, it's not through marriage. Usually, you know, that comes before marriage where a man makes himself, you know, fit, strong, whatever, happy, healthy, successful. Usually before marriage, and that's what makes women want to pursue him for marriage.
Fully marries.
You know, you got to be a good bachelor first, of course.
Can you say the question a different way?
If a man successfully marries a woman, does that mean he has become a happy and healthy individual?
No.
Not because of the marriage,
No,
but
but
he was probably selected because he was that type of person.
So he's made himself into that kind of a person. He's disciplined himself. He's, made himself at least somewhat successful, happy and healthy. Okay, good. So he becomes that.
I wouldn't attribute it to marriage, though.
But
I would attribute it to the, I think men are going to do what they're going to do. They're on a mission.
On average, though, does marriage take that away from men, their happiness and their health?
Depending on the woman, yes. But, if it's a happy marriage, it's adding a lot to a man's life. A lot of expenses, but also a lot of joy.
I would say yes. I would say there are more men in unhappy marriages than happy. Out of
I
the
would
original
say that
100
too.
that got married.
Do you have a
so
okay,
if you take the I'm answering the question.
Go ahead, sure.
You want.
That's fine.
So, the study you're talking about, 35%, I've heard that's a bit dishonest. I've heard it's more 50%, 45% of marriages end in divorce. The last one was from 2023. I know it was a little off because of COVID, but I think if you include sexless marriages, women that belittle their husband, that's really common. Women that make fun of their husbands in public.
Then you're taking it away from my main point. So you're claiming that these happy, healthy men who get married, the majority of them, they lose their happiness. Do you have a study that shows that? Because let me finish. Okay. I have cited the General Social Survey, Gallup surveys, hundreds of thousands of people who are tracked, Harvard Adult Study, 80 years, that married men rate themselves as happier and healthier. And the majority of them do.
But you're attributing that to marriage.
I'm not. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that even if marriage is negative in some ways, it doesn't take that away from them. You're making the claim that the majority of married men aren't happy, but you have no study to back that up.
I'm saying that you can back it up when you look at 40%. Let's say 40% of marriages end in divorce. Okay, 40%. Now you have 6 left. A quarter of them are sexless. Boom, that's over 50.
That's not true. A quarter are not.
There you go. Women on average, and then on average, so at least half of the women gain 25 pounds.
I'm going to ask you another question. I'm going to ask you another question again. So we do surveys, and we ask people if they're happy. And I've cited multiple studies, where hundreds of thousands of married men are asked if they are happy. Okay. And the majority, 80% to 90%, say yes. Can you cite a study that shows that the majority of men...
I don't know. That's a bit like, oh yeah, I just brought some people in and randomly asked, hey, are you happy in your marriage? It's like, dog, what? Like, if you ask them honestly, or you went and seen their marriage, you would see it was a resounding no. But if you just ask anybody up front, they're probably going to tell you yes, just to save face. You feel me? Because people put a lot of pride behind these, major decisions in life. So it takes a lot of, openness to sit there and tell you if the marriage is actually going right or not. So you just sitting there blank face asking them, oh, yes or no, is like, you're not really knowing nothing. You would have to hear a yes and be like, okay, cool. Let's go to your crib. Let's see how this shit's ran. And then you see that a lot of these dudes who said yes was really a no.
Men in marriage say they're not happy.
Well, you're saying in marriage. I'm including divorced.
Sure.
That's my point. But my original statement was...
and I'm going to interrupt because it's my turn. My original question was, for marriage, since the majority of marriages don't end in divorce, and if divorce is the only bad thing, then marriage is a good deal. But setting that aside...
Well, I don't know. Divorce isn't the only bad thing. Like I said, she could be cheating. That's bad. Sexless, bad. Talking shit, bad. It's like, that's not, divorce isn't the only thing. You could be trapped in a marriage and she's doing all 3 of those on your ass. I think that's way worse than divorce. I'd just be begging for divorce if that was the case. Or just be like somebody's going to get unalive. I know that.
You cannot show that married men are unhappy. You have no data for that.
But I also added in, I said if a woman gains weight, that's a bad deal. If a woman cheats, that's a bad deal.
Do the men say it's not worth it? But do the men say it's not worth it to them? And
you asked what I would classify as a successful marriage. Or I made the premise.
The debate is not whether Pearl thinks marriage is a bad deal.
You said I could make the premise.
Yeah.
So I said a good deal is classified as a woman that stays in shape, F's her husband and stays married and is obedient. So if she's not having sex with her
sounds
husband
good
and
to
she's
me.
gaining weight,
Who should
then
determine?
that's 60%. At least half of them are doing that.
Who should we look to determine the standard of whether marriage is a good?
Well,
let me finish. Whether marriage is a good deal. Married men or Pearl Davis?
I think you should look at men and what they're choosing, and they're not choosing marriage. Because if it was a good deal,
Ooh. Yeah. I don't think he thought she had an answer for that one. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna be vain and say I know the answers. I'm gonna tell you to know. Go to the dudes who gotta sit out there and suffer the consequences of that decision. Let's ask them. Don't ask me. I ain't suffering the consequences of marriage. I ain't married. But let's go out to a married dude and let's hear his horror stories. And I'm pretty sure we can bring old. I'm sure we can bring old dude around.
deal, it would be an easy sell. Good products get sold.
Is exercise
gets good products?
Is exercise a good deal?
Yes.
Or gym's a good? Is exercising a good deal?
Yes.
Exercising is a good deal, but
Do
I wouldn't.
most people sign up for it?
I wouldn't say those are the same thing, because again, if women were benefiting men like they were 100 years ago, if we look at 100 years ago, men signed up for marriage within 3 months. That's all it took.
All right. Here's my
Now
next
it's
question.
taken 3
Here's my
years.
next question. If
Loverboy
marriage is
times,
so
Loverboy
bad,
times.
including people who end in divorce.
I didn't say all marriage is bad.
Okay. If in general marriage,
I said out of 151
if
will fail.
if it's more likely, if it's greater than not, that marriage it will be bad, and if that's the case, why do 65% of divorced men get married again, even though they've already been through a marriage that's failed? If it's so bad, Pearl, why do the majority of men get married again?
Well, I would say, people don't always make logical decisions when it comes to love. But
they
my
learned their
question
lesson.
would go back to, why aren't men signing
you
up
didn't get
in
to ask the
general?
question.
Okay, you're just so anybody who just disagrees with your standard of marriage, they're just being illogical.
No.
Okay.
I said a good deal. I clarified it in the beginning. I said good deal, doesn't gain weight, sleeps with her husband, stays married.
Facts.
I think that's the bare minimum.
Why?
Damn, that do sound like the bare minimum. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I take that back. Like, is that really that hard?
I said a good deal. I clarified it in the beginning. I said good deal, doesn't gain weight, sleeps with her husband, stays married. I think that's the bare minimum.
Why can't this be a good deal for marriage? If a married man says that he's happy.
Because I don't think that I think happiness studies, like how do they measure it?
You literally ask the person if they're happy.
Nigga. I'm sorry, but like that's what I was saying. That's just such a weak ass way to like gauge happiness. Like I would literally have to do a damn near case study, probably on 10 marriages where I'm damn near in the house or I'm interviewing these two and I'm getting damn near running therapy work on them, trying to drag out like let's see if they got any real problems in their marriage. Bro said he married. Bro said he liked being married. His wife might say no. Then hey, if one says yes and one say no, is that a happy marriage? Then no. So you over here just asking one side if they're happy about their marriage. Well, one side could be overly benefiting, the other side could be completely suffering, male or female. You don't know. So it's a really flawed study. It's like it's the worst way to conduct a study, honestly.
Yeah, people
There's
lie.
no real science to
Okay,
it.
so it's just
No
a
real
giant conspiracy.
study.
It's not a conspiracy.
Okay, so do you think most men who are married are unhappy?
I think most men that sign up for marriage out of the original, not stay married, that sign up for marriage, 51 are unhappy with that original deal. And we can agree at least 40% divorce, right?
Yeah, there's
So,
a 40%.
okay.
But that,
So
but
what
those,
percent of men rate
but-
themselves
but
as happy,
you don't
actually?
you don't get to ask that
Okay,
the questions.
fine.
I get to ask them. And as I said before, just because a marriage ends in divorce, it doesn't mean that person now thinks that marriage is a bad deal, since the majority of men who get divorced choose to go back and get married anyways. I want to go back to some of the different.
Why don't the majority of men
you don't get
sign
to
up for
ask.
marriage?
You don't get to ask. I'm going to go back here.
Because if it was such a good deal, they'd sign up.
Yeah, well,
They would. Good products get sold. You think Elon Musk is running out of his cars.
Okay.
When they first came out, anyways. I don't know about now, but
All right.
I heard that truck was bad.
All right. Let's see here, because you've brought up.
Yeah, big and bulky with no real details or a really fine finish in the insides. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that shit was a fail. He got y'all on hype, bro. Elon Musk got y'all boys on hype.
80% of women
All right,
get
you say-
HPV. That's crazy.
Cheats and he leaves his wife to be with another woman. Is it fair that he should have to compensate her by paying for things like child support now that he's abandoned her?
Is he going to be an active father?
If a
Well,
man,
it's
no,
one thing. So
no,
so
I'm
I'm
going to ask the
asking.
question
Okay.
again. If a man
I'm clarifying.
if a man is married to a woman, they have 3 kids, and he says, "Wow, I'd like to be married to this other lady instead that I had an affair
Okay.
with," and he abandons his wife and children, and his wife has been raising these kids, and now they're on their own. Isn't it just that he should compensate them for putting them in that position by paying child support?
How many kids? How old?
Let's say 3 kids, 3, 6, and 9.
Yeah.
3, 6, and 9. And
damn.
he completely abandoned them. Not even.
He tells the wife, "You can have full custody of the kids. I want to go and get remarried." Shouldn't he have to support them since he was an awful person and abandoned them and put them in this position?
You know what? Sorry. No, I don't believe in child support. I don't believe in alimony.
Damn.
I think it's equal.
Damn.
Women have fought. We have fought for equality. Wait, we have fought for equality. We got it. So now you get a job like everyone else. It's a sad situation, but overwhelmingly, men aren't the ones doing that. Women, there are far more deadbeat moms than deadbeat dads.
Do you think you simp for men?
I do not agree to that, but god damn it, it was a great point, but I just don't agree. I do feel like, hey, yo, if you're going to abandon your kids, you might as well go ahead and take care of the other ones. Like, just take care of your kids, bro. Take care of your kids. Yeah, I hate men with unfinished business. I believe it's unmanly for a man to have so much unfinished business. So, yeah, take care of your kids, guys. But anyway, though, man, we just going to close it out on this note, man. We about reaching that time. I'll be back for another one, man. We about to get into some mental health topics, man. We got some stuff for y'all. Don't worry, man. S.E.T and Key Media here to help you get your mental health right. Anyway, we appreciate you for the support. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a super sticker for